Put on a Happy Face is a very good season finale for Grey's Anatomy. However, it's gonna suffer from the problem that there were 4 episodes left. And we know that all these storylines that were left in the finale will be, in theory, wrapped up very, very quickly. And then we're gonna have an issue with the original season 16 finale, how quick those storylines will get wrapped up in season 17. Now, we don't know how many episodes season 17 has been allowed. My guess is 25 because season 16 was 25, if not 24, but honestly, it's picking hairs at this point. It could be 22, but the issue is they have 4 scripts already written for episodes 22, 23, 24, and 25. And those scripts should just be the opening of season 17. And then they just can get right to the cliffhanger of the original end of season 16. So that's the only error with Put on a Happy Face, is we just know these answers are going to get done right away, and they're already written, and we just really gotta hope nothing gets leaked, because spoilers. But I did feel that this finale felt like season 7 finale, where everyone's alive. The drama wasn't super bad because the main drama was solved, I would say 40 or so minutes into the episode, and then it was just wrapping up storylines to be continued in the next episode. But I very much liked the episode. It was very, very strong. I have one issue with the Teddy storyline, which we'll get to, but overall it's exceptionally strong, given the fact that Meredith, Bailey, Maggie, and Catherine were all helming the Richard storyline, though Maggie was a little moved, which I felt was annoying. But again, the structure with having Richard be the overarching issue and then having minor subplots was good. The subplots were good for distraction, but at the same time, you probably wanted more Richard, but there's only so much they could do. So anyway, that was a very good episode, and now let's talk about let's talk about it. So we're gonna go with the Richard storyline, then we'll talk about the 3 subplots. And honestly, I hate to say it, that Teddy was a subplot. I thought it would be a bigger storyline, but it really felt minor. But I think it's just the issue of possibly losing Richard. It overshadowed everything. So we have an opening montage which shows the passage of time, and I have to say, I got up vibes. I many times have said that I think the Grey's Anatomy writers have had conferences or work conventions with the writers of Pixar and Disney Animation, which makes sense because they're all owned, all of them work under the umbrella of Disney, so it makes sense that they would have at least conferences to discuss writing styles. I've said that Grey's Anatomy has used Pixar-esque writing several times. Season 15, like the episode with Dia de los Muertos, I wasn't a fan of that episode, but the ending sequence where they had all the ghosts come back, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sad. And that's pure Pixar writing. So I love that opening montage. And then after the montage was done, we have an excellent scene of Maggie and Meredith, and I just love the 2 of them interacting. Regrettably, last week we got the sister scene. We got all 3 of them together when Richard was in the CT scan. I love when all 3 of them together. Unfortunately, I was sad that we didn't get one of the 3 of them in this episode together, particularly because Amelia went into labor. So then we have a really strong scene with Meredith, Maggie, Richard, and Catherine. Again, it's a fantastic scene when Richard is his fingers and his toes are numb, and he's having extensive nerve pain. So they're trying to figure out that it's not Alzheimer's, and I really like that. And then after the group scene's done, Amelia's there and Karassik's there, and they're essentially saying because he has all this nerve issues, it can't be Alzheimer's. Then Amelia goes into labor, so then Amelia kind of gets pulled out of the entire plot line. Now, let's just talk about Amelia's labor, because it's sort of wrapped into Richard's, but it's not. It's like its own thing, but it started that way. So anyway, we're just going to get Amelia out of the way. She has the baby, which is fantastic. Season 9, season 12, season 15, and season 16 have all ended with a pregnancy, and I'm really happy that the baby was born in this episode and it wasn't pushed off to next week. I didn't want to have to deal with that in season 17. And it's a boy. But, to see Corinne DeLuca back was great. Chris Carmack and Katarina Scorso, amazing chemistry. It was so funny, and at the same time, I love Bailey. She was back and forth. She was in surgery, and then she was dealing with Richard, but she also was able to support Amelia. And I really like the bond that Amelia and Bailey were having. I thought that was really nice. And then, Bailey helped Amelia give birth. Now, I do want to say this would have been a excellent finale for Addison to make a return, but regrettably, Kate Walsh just stuck me back to the show. I love Kate Walsh. I'm rewatching Private Practice right now. I think it'd be fantastic if she came back, but it's just not going to happen. But this would have been a great way for Kate Walsh to come back and be a guest star. And also, she probably, like the character of Addison, would have been so happy that Amelia's having a healthy baby boy as opposed to, her unicorn baby from Private Practice. So then also we have with Amelia's scenes, because we figure out what's wrong with Richard, and we'll talk about that in a second, Link has to go operate on him. And so that's how Bailey gets involved. And what I want to say is Link's operation on Richard made me respect and like the character more. I thought Link was great last week. I thought Link was great this week. When he was introduced, I really hated him. He came in like, somebody call for an ortho god. I was like, dude, go away. But he's really come into his own. He grew on me in season 15, unlike Nico Kim, who's just gone from the show, thank God. But Link really grew on me. I really liked him in the OR, and this scene was a really great way for him to shine. However, it also would have been a great opportunity for Sada Ramirez to come back to operate. Like, oh, it's such an extensive surgery. We need 2 orthopedic surgeons. We need Callie to come back. Again, there was 2 opportunities to get these 2 actors back, but it just wasn't possible. Either way, I really liked all of Link's scenes in this episode. So, they realize that Richard's illness is, it's dealing with his nerves and the like. And so they're going to do a biopsy, and then DeLuca comes in, and Meredith and Bailey are about to operate, and DeLuca freaks out. And Meredith and Bailey are like, what's wrong? And I'm really, really glad that the standoff between Bailey and DeLuca that was in the trailer ended up only being a minute, because DeLuca was able to figure out that it was a cobalt hip that was doing Richard wrong. So I really like that. Then Link goes to operate there, move the hip, and then Richard goes into recovery. It was really great the way it all led into it, and I loved it. Now, and that's essentially it. Richard was able to recover because of DeLuca, and then we'll talk about DeLuca, Richard, and we'll talk about Richard and DeLuca at the end of the video when we get into the finale. But overall, Richard's storylines, how they got from him being possibly with Alzheimer's, what it actually was, like how they okay, his Alzheimer's is going to die, to the fact that maybe it's something else, to the operation, and then we have the end result of it. But either way, perfect. Really liked it. So let's talk about the Towen storyline. Several episodes ago, Karasik told Teddy that he's going to let her live her life and she should just be with Owen. And then he came back in full force to be like, I love you. And it didn't help that Teddy, willingly went back to him when she thought the baby that Amelia was carrying was in fact Owen's. In the end, there was a horrid voicemail that Teddy sent to Owen by accident of her having sex with Karasik. It sets Owen off, and Owen, they were going to do like a shotgun wedding. A shotgun wedding is certainly when the bride is pregnant and they want to get married before the baby's born. But instead, Owen just calls it off. And Teddy's guilt-ridden, because she should be. But the problem is, this is so out of line with Teddy that I feel that Owen's going to have to forgive her given what he did, but he's going to feel that it's so much worse, Teddy's betrayal, than when he compares it back to his, because he cheated on Christina with a random stranger. Karasik and Teddy have a massive history here. They dated. Like, Karasik was going to be the stepdad of this baby, of Allison. So the Towen storyline regrettably felt less than it should be, but in the end, Towen's in danger. Owen finds out the truth. Who knows what's going to happen? Owen and Teddy have been on and off again for so long. And what I mean by on and off again is, like, granted, they never were together. They were mostly off. But there's been so much pining for Owen and Teddy for Teddy to be with Owen, that to have the writers just ruin it and not get them a happy ending it's upsetting. I don't like it. So that was that. So that was one storyline. And then we have Joe, Jackson, and McWidow operating on a girl who can't smile. It was filler. It didn't do me well. But one thing I did like about it was that Jackson left his surgery to go sit with Debbie Allen, or sit with Catherine while Link was operating on Richard. By the way, Richard's storyline, because the cobalt hip that he had was like a medical intervention, and it's causing poisoning. I'm guessing will lead to several storylines in the future. Anyway, so Mick Widow, Joe Jackson. I feel like honestly that Camille Luddington and Camille Luddington and Mick Widow were just there for fun. And then the end of Mick Widow's storyline with Joe and Jackson, or really with Joe at that point, he asked Meredith on a date for a drink. Let's be honest. And Meredith says maybe later. But we'll talk about Meredith in a second. And then we have Owen and Glasses have a storyline, and honestly, I could have just done with like Owen like finding again the voiceover accent like in one scene instead of having the storyline. Glasses is useless. I don't think that Jake Borelli should be a main character next year. I apologize for people that love him, but I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the money. I'd gladly cut him, make him recurring again. It's a demotion for him, but honestly, he doesn't add anything to the story. Maggie got involved in Owen and Glasses' storyline, which I thought was random because Maggie really should have been there for Richard, but she couldn't operate on him and she could only do so much. Like, what's going to happen to him? Again, could have been an opportunity for her to call Richard Dad. I know that Paul Pierce is her father, but again, amazing opportunity. So those are all the storylines. And now let's talk about the finale. Richard is still mad at Catherine. It's annoying, but we just kind of have to accept it that Richard and Catherine's storyline is going to be on the rocks. Hopefully in season 17, Richard and Catherine make amends. That Richard and Catherine and Owen and Teddy should never have issues. Like, it's ridiculous how much the writers are going with them. And then, at the end of this episode, the very, very final scene is Teddy going out to, go to her wedding, and that's not going to happen because, Owen called it off. Makes sense. Whatever. It's actually a really great shot of Kim Raver at the end. Kim Raver ended season 14 too, so she's had a lot of endings for the Grey's Anatomy. So that's something to be proud of. Then it's like in between Richard being mad at Catherine and the final scene with Teddy, but we have DeLuca sitting on the ground and like his hair is all shaggy. It looks like he's having a breakdown. And I was thinking when I was watching the episode, oh gosh, they just put his mental disability away, like it's just gone. And I guess they were going to end the season with him probably recovering. And it looks like now it's a cliffhanger of how he's going to recover. And then we have Meredith trying to take care of him. And Meredith also had an excellent scene with DeLuca because DeLuca, earlier in the episode when he stopped the surgery or the biopsy that Meredith and Bailey were going to do, he got Bailey to give him minor privileges to at least scrub in and observe the surgery again. So it looked like he was doing so well. And Meredith then defended DeLuca to Bailey. I loved it. And then you have Meredith care. I ship DeLuca. I'm very, very passionate for those two as a couple. So to have him be in this mental state of Meredith caring for him, I liked it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I think that Giacomo did an excellent job in season 16, and I am looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing in season 17. So overall, I thought Put on a Happy Face was a fantastic finale. Fantastic. I really liked it. So much went down. It didn't have a season 8 finale. It wasn't season 6. Season 8, Lexi died. Season 6 was a shooting. Season 11, Derek died. Season 12 was a departure of Sada Ramirez. Season 14 was the departure of April in Arizona. Like, those are really, really big for me because you lose characters. Here, you at least know people are alive, and it's just like how they're going to rectify their lives. So it's different. So it's not as impactful for me. I think the finale of 14 is one of the best of the series. I think the finale of 12 and the finale of 11. Finale of 10, the loss of Christina Yang, like the ones where like people have died or leave, I think are the ones that make the best. Like Justin Chambers' exit is not, like, it could have been a finale, but it isn't a fantastic, it's a horrible episode. I'm sorry. Like, it's horrible, but that's just the way he exited the show. And that has to go to dealing with, Justin Chambers wanting to better himself and improve his career and improve his mental health. And but the character's exit is not good. Like, it would never make a top 10. But this episode, it feels like season 7, season 9. It's square, it fits in the middle. But I would even say the end of season 2 was more impactful because that's when Denny died, and you have Izzy quitting the job, quitting being a surgeon. This is like everyone's still alive, everyone's still good more or less. I mean, DeLuca's in trouble. Owen and Teddy's relationship's in danger, but Catherine and Richard's relationship is in danger, but it's been in danger all season. So it's like, but we'll find out. And I think the real thing is Andrew. So I'm excited for 17. I think it'll be fun. Don't get me wrong. I will cover it. But with the COVID outbreak, who knows when that will be. So overall, I thought Put on a Happy Face was a fantastic episode. 2 thumbs up from me. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Thank you for watching. And I was thinking to keep Grey's Anatomy content going, I will try to be doing top 5 episodes of each season once a week now. So hopefully next week by Friday, I will have a top 5 of season 1. And that's really easy because season 1's only 9 episodes. And honestly, I can give you a hint. One of the best episodes of 9, the 9th episode, the finale, because we get to see the amazing Kate Walsh. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my review of Put on a Happy Face, the finale of Grey's Anatomy Season 16. I will talk to you guys in the comments below. Take care. Bye.